Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Almighty Allah, the entirely merciful and especially merciful. Dear viewers across the globe, I greet you with the greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May peace be with you wherever you are. Dear viewers, welcome to this episode. Welcome to take as much or as many treasures as you can from the Holy Quran. And these treasures are so beneficial, not just to you as an individual. They are so beneficial to everyone around us. And this is one of the purposes of, one of the goals of our program here, is to try to spread this kind of pure knowledge, divine knowledge that we get from Almighty Allah through His book, Al-Quran Al-Kareem, the Holy Quran. And it is our job to understand the meaning of the verse. Even after we finish, you can go to the references and do some research by yourself. Do extra effort in order to get better understanding than what we are able to provide. And then after that, I'm quite sure that you would love to share this treasure that you got with other people, because you are going to get this treasure for free. So reciprocally, you love to share it for free. It wouldn't cost you anything, only your time. And remember, if you are sincere and you dedicate your time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you plentifully. And we do thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this. One of the things that we are as humans characterized by is forgetting. We forget. What can we do? We need to think and develop many strategies as much as you can, and there are plenty of them that are mentioned in the Holy Quran and in the traditions of our beloved Prophet Muhammad ﷺ that would help us handle this problem of forgetting. And here is one of the things. First of all, let's diagnose is who is the one who benefits more when we forget. One of the things that we need to focus on is that we forget to mention Allah as much as we are supposed to do. Who works negatively on us? Who is the one who benefits more when we as humans forget? And are we victims of him, of this creature? Or are we victims of ourselves? And how can we handle this problem? Let's see the verse that I'm going to cover today. It's chapter number 58, ayah number 19. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. It says, استحوذ عليهم الشيطان فأنساهم ذكر الله أولئك حزب الشيطان ألا إن حزب الشيطان هم الخاسرون. Roughly, this can be translated as I mentioned, it is chapter number 58, and this is ayah number 19. It's one ayah only. Satan This is the translation, the rough translation of what I said. Has overpowered them. So he, Satan, has made them forget the remembrance of Allah. They are the party of Satan. Verily, it is the party of Satan that will be the losers. It's so scary to hear the issue of losers, because all the time we try to judge and evaluate things by these two words, losers and winners. Whenever you go to school, whenever you go to any competition, definitely you want to be a winner. That's why businessmen all the time focus on this word, win-win situation. You don't want win-lose situation, because there is a one who is a winner and there is a one who is loser. And here you find the Quran, in this verse in particular, it focuses on the losers. Who are the losers? It's the party of the Satan, the followers of the Satan. If the Satan succeeds in this life to recruit you, to make you his followers, definitely you will be in this party of the losers. Again, the job of the Satan is to recruit as many humans as he can. He wants to recruit me, you, all of us, as many as he can, because he knows the consequences that will happen to his followers. Yet, he loves to see a lot of people following him. So this kind of, what does the Satan do? One of its tricks, one of its strategies to make us forget, to invent ways to distract us, to disorient us from the main focus, to take us away from the main focus. So this is one of the strategies of the Satan. What is the main focus? Is remembering Allah. He knows the positive impact of remembering Allah. ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. Indeed, by the mention, by the focus on Allah and remembering Allah, definitely you will get a lot of comfort, a lot of peace, a lot of happiness in this world. Therefore, he wants to disorient us and to keep us away from this main focus by inventing these strategies. And you can mention hundreds of these strategies. He succeeds to make us busy by trivial things, by focusing on trivial things. He makes a strategy of making us angry, because if we become angry, we lose focus. He succeeds sometimes to make us focus on movies, on games, of less important things. At least he would keep you busy talking and talking and talking and talking. And the more talking you do, the more nonsense you produce. You can see somebody is talking every day. In one of the examples, the talk shows that you see every day, you would see after half an hour, after 2 hours, or after a week or so, you would see the nonsense that's coming out of this talk. All these are strategies that are designed by the Satan to keep us away from the main focus. And you will find that one quality, you can notice it by yourself. One quality of the wise people is that they listen more than they talk. And you will find hundreds of statements, wise statements, that are said about that. The more you talk, the less focus you have. In other words, these consequences of the nonsense that comes out of us, it would take us away from the road to know Allah. And the way to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to remember Him. And when we see the remembrance, the adhkar that we have been taught, yes, in every context, in every situation, it does not give us an opportunity to fall as victims of the Satan. Before you sleep, there are special kind of remembrance. When you wake up, you would find this series of remembrance. When you start your day, when you start your wudu, when you start your eating, when you finish your eating, when you leave out your house, when you come, in every situation in our life, there is a kind of categorized dhikr, remembrance of Allah, special dhikr that keeps us busy and focusing on this important issue. We cannot achieve this level of focus without practicing these practices, these kinds of dhikr. And alhamdulillah, they are there. They are in the Quran, and they are in the Sunnah of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And there are many scholars who did a wonderful job and collected the most authentic adhkar that would teach us, in this situation we do this and this, and the other situation we do this and this, and so on and so forth. There is no opportunity given to the Satan. But what we need to do is we need to practice. Not only practice, to practice them with full comprehension, with full awareness. And not only to practice them, but we have to consistently practice them every day until they become part of our daily life. So life is not only just the salat and the siyam and the other pillars of Islam. Of course, they are part of that. But we need the extra things. These extra things are so fruitful in our life. They are designed, they are meant to kick out all the strategies of the shaitan. If you want to fight the Satan, you have to be fully equipped, fully prepared, fully educated in order to fight him in all these situations. He does not give us an opportunity to relax. He does not. It's relentless power and effort from him that needs to be met by our effort, continuous and focused effort to do that. And the azkar are designed to do that. Because if we leave the azkar, we become so powerless and we become his victims. He overpowers us by his strategies and by his techniques. And we need to develop, to study, and to ask scholars and to investigate about the strategies of the Satan. And there are some scholars who have become so specialized that they wrote books, not just few books, hundreds if not thousands of books about the traps of the Satan. These traps or these strategies are so focused on by the scholars so that it gives us an idea of how these strategies work and which particular dhikr and remembrance of Allah, which remember an act that you need to do in order to confront, to be able to conquer the Satan. And this is not just your own. Remember that in times of weakness, in time of relaxation, in times of when you try to take over comfort that takes you to the laziness, this would be a dangerous area where you need to protect yourself. That's why the Prophet ﷺ, he taught us some strategies on how he would take refuge with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep him away from laziness, from idleness, from having nothing that keeps you busy. And alhamdulillah, as early as possible, we need to teach and train our kids how to be fully equipped to do this. By teaching the kids as early as possible to memorize the Quran and to memorize the simple azkar that we do, the dhikr that when you leave your house, the dhikr when you mention when you come to your house, the dhikr when you mention when you start eating or drinking, the dhikr when you, in every situation, that when we mention this kind of dhikr, we acquire it. And day after day and hour after hour, it becomes in our DNA. It becomes part of us. And you will feel really so protected and well fortified, alhamdulillah, to the degree, alhamdulillah, you do thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us the opportunity to know that. How would we know these strategies to fight the shaitan? How would we know that without the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that had been taught to us in the Quran and in the language of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that we know as the Sunnah of our beloved Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.